Now please welcome President and CEO of LeadingAge, Katie Smith Sloan.
She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride.
Good afternoon and welcome to the LeadingAge annual meeting. Look around. This is an amazing gathering of aging services providers, partners, and friends. Thank you all for being here. A year ago, as I accepted the organization's offer to become its next president and CEO, I had a few minutes to convey what my career in the field of aging services meant to me. I said then, and I still believe today, that what I love most about LeadingAge is the folks who care deeply for our moms and dads, grandmothers and grandfathers, aunts and uncles, and our own siblings. It takes a big heart to do that day in and day out, day after day. I also said that we need brave hearts to lead us into the future. And LeadingAge has no shortage of those courageous souls. Among them, the LeadingAge Board of Directors, led by Catherine Roberts. This year, the board took a hard look at who we are and where we want to take the organization in the coming years. This process took us to a bold new vision. It requires real courage to declare an America freed from ageism as our vision, our highest aspiration. It takes real courage to decide that we as an organization want to permanently change the image of aging in our society. And here's why they acted unanimously. We are a youth-oriented society with a rapidly aging population, a paradox for sure. And in our society, ageism is insidious. It perpetuates powerful and pervasive stereotypes that demean the individual. It denies them the respect they rightfully have earned over decades. And it often determines the quality of their lives. Instead of celebrating life's journey, ageism assaults America's core values, that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Why is it that we as a nation embrace the pursuit of happiness for Gen Xers and millennials, but not for the greatest generation and baby boomers? Why is it that we as a nation place such an emphasis on liberty for all, except as inevitable limitations on older adults, simply because of their age? Why is it that we as a nation take such pains to ensure that we can enjoy life to the fullest, unless and until we cross some imaginary line that makes our descent into a life of loneliness, pain, and suffering? And why is it that we as a nation can battle so aggressively for the rights of people of color, except when the color is gray? The answer is ageism. An America freed from ageism is a big and bold vision, and it will take brave hearts to make it happen. We all need to be part of this. Ageism seeps into everything you have been doing in your organizations for many decades. It inhibits staff recruitment. It clouds the public's view of what we do. It negatively influences philanthropy, and it leads to onerous public policies. Ageism is working against all that we believe in. It paints aging as a disease that cannot be cured. It drives paternalism. It reinforces the notion that older adults are a burden to their families and to society. At its inception, more than 50 years ago, the founders of today's LeadingAge said, "We are here to ensure that every older person has the right and the opportunity to develop his or her full human potential, regardless of age." This remains true today. At LeadingAge, we believe in the worth of people, regardless of age. We believe that all deserve respect, dignity, and choice. We believe that we serve a larger purpose, one that transcends our day-to-day work, one that places a large responsibility on our shoulders. As leaders in the field of aging services, I ask you to be part of this bigger, broader conversation about ageism. These conversations may not be easy, but if we dig deep, focus on what's most important, and reflect on what we do to enable people to develop their full human potential, these conversations will prove to be productive. Over the next 3 days, please start those conversations here in Indianapolis with LeadingAge staff, with members, with each other. Let's imagine an America freed from ageism. Perhaps it's a world where older people get and keep jobs. Or maybe it's one where caregivers don't suffer physically, emotionally, and financially. And maybe it's both, or something else entirely. Start thinking about the subtle ways that ageism is infused into our everyday lives. Have the courage to speak out against it. Only by recognizing it and actively working to change it can we begin to make a difference. It is my fervent hope that these conversations will continue after we leave Indianapolis, that they will grow from a low murmur to a loud roar, and eventually these conversations will frame aging as a stage of life that embodies experience, wisdom, and perspective, that sees aging as an opportunity for growth, fulfillment, and joy. Our vision does not mean we are changing who we are as an organization. We're building on our strength as a community of aging services professionals. And we are well positioned for a strong and vibrant future. We will tirelessly address the priorities that are crucial to you today, and they will continue to occupy our time and attention in the days and years ahead. They include recruiting and retaining a vibrant workforce. We know that workforce challenges haunt you, impede your success, and divert precious resources. We know that there are complex and multiple reasons for the workforce dilemma in which we find ourselves. And we know that a committed, quality workforce is everything in our field. Here's what we'll do together. Continue to build evidence of successful strategies to facilitate retention. Form strategic partnerships to jumpstart recruitment. Bring attention to our field, leverage relationships, and match supply with demand. Communicate broadly the rewards of a career in aging services. And develop and advocate for public policies to strengthen this workforce. We're also focused on the rapidly changing landscape of payment reform. Between the move towards integration, coordination, risk sharing, and value-based purchasing, I fear we have lost sight of what really matters: quality and payment based on the individual served rather than solely economic metrics. We're working hard to make sure that your services are in the mix, the quality you deliver counts, and that you are at the table as these changes take place. The work that you do is absolutely integral to the success of payment reform, and policymakers need to understand this. Paying for long-term services and supports is another issue we know is critical to the livelihood of older adults and their families. Consider how individuals and families pay for these services and supports now. They deplete their savings until there is nothing left, and then they have no option but to apply for Medicaid. The end result is devastating for families and government. Family pocketbooks are drained, and Medicaid is stretched almost to the breaking point. For years, LeadingAge has advocated for reform, and we won't stop until we have it. While there are no easy solutions, there are solutions. Our task is to determine what is politically possible and financially feasible. Our task is to find the policymakers who believe the issue is worth fighting for. We are also committed to working on the growing problem of affordable senior housing. America's older adults face a severe affordable housing crisis. There are millions of low-income individuals who, by virtue of life circumstances or simply longevity, find themselves poorly situated, underhoused, or even homeless. These numbers are growing, and waiting lists for affordable housing units are getting longer. These individuals deserve nothing less than a safe, decent, and affordable place to live. The current state is simply unconscionable. These issues, building and sustaining a vibrant workforce, influencing payment reform, accessing and paying for long-term services and supports, and providing safe and affordable housing, are central to the heart and soul of the work we do together. Every day, I hear about what you are doing to overcome some of these challenges. You are tackling workforce roadblocks by partnering with local community colleges to offer credit in exchange for work hours in your communities. You're investing in training programs to give direct care workers the tools they need to be successful. You are starting nursing schools to ensure access to critical nursing staff. And you're developing creative partnerships with community service providers so older adults can live safely wherever they call home. A number of our state partners, like Nebraska, Texas, California, Ohio, and Washington, have taken up the cause of financing reform, working with their legislators to find and fund solutions at the state level. On these issues and more, the LeadingAge team in Washington, D.C. is pushing the proverbial boulder up the hill, Capitol Hill, tirelessly fighting for what's fair and right for you and for those you serve. We are unearthing practices and models that are evidence-based, giving you the tools to invest in what works. We're identifying the many ways that we can leverage technologies to deliver services more efficiently and effectively. Yes, I have the privilege of working with an extremely talented and dedicated staff, smart folks who are a lot of fun. We are dedicated to making a difference in advocacy, education, and research. We are committed to being the trusted voice for aging in America. As a community of aging services professionals, we all must be stewards and hold ourselves accountable for the well-being of the people whose lives we touch. We must have the courage to stand up for what we believe is right so we can permanently erase the stigmas around aging. Now more than ever, we all need to amplify our voices so that the issues that matter most to us are heard loud and clear. Thank you for all that you do. You are the difference. Thank you.